The 62% of Americans favor deporting all undocumented immigrants. But if we're looking at voters across the 7 states identified by CBS as the battlegrounds likely to decide the election, those numbers are Joining us now for some analysis is our Executive Director of Elections and Surveys. So, Anthony, you've been telling us this is going to be a close race. Data supports that at this point. What have we learned?
That conviction matters some. The impact is limited, but it's there. And here's why. First of all, context. Voters do not rate the trial as anywhere near as important as things like the economy and inflation, things where Donald Trump has advantages. But we do see a little bit of activation there. The number of Joe Biden voters who say that their primary reason for voting for Joe Biden is to oppose Donald Trump. And it's now a majority of his vote. But again, one of the reasons that this is limited is that then the Trump folks tell you they think the charges aren't serious. They think everything is political. But when people say that this contest is about a comparison between the two or a referendum on Joe Biden, Donald Trump does much better. And part of the reason he does much better is that Trump does better than Biden on a lot of these qualities, like being tough, being effective. Biden does better on being...
Anthony, let's talk about some of the issues you say are important to voters. The border's one of them. Trump's been perceived as stronger on the border. Does this change anything?
No, Trump still is. More people think that Donald Trump's policies would stop or slow border crossings more than Biden's. People have said they think that the border is in crisis for a long time. Having said that, we have a lot of the campaign rhetoric speaking of what people say they would do. You've seen the Trump campaign talking about mass deportations. We tested that in a general way in principle. Would you support a new government program that would deport all people living in the U.S. illegally? And that finds majority favor. That finds 6 in 10. It's strongest among folks who are MAGA. It's strongest among Trump supporters, but also from some Democrats as well. And I think that speaks to the general idea, not just that people see the border as a crisis, but also where we are in the campaign, where a lot of very dramatic or new proposals out there are finding favor here.
The 62% of Americans favor deporting all undocumented immigrants.
We tested even the idea of should local law enforcement be involved in this? And a lot of folks do say yes. Look, it does tell you, though, for the viewer watching this campaign, that what we're seeing here connects to whether it's the courts, what some people say is the politicization of the courts.
They cheat. They cheat.
These ideas of mass deportations, et cetera. We are in a different era in which a lot of folks say the system as a whole is not working. And all of these, if you connect the dots through them, are part of that reaction against it, which explains some of that general sentiment for some of these policies.
It's really just kind of a do something.
Do something.
Anthony Salvanto, thank you very much.
Outright treason.
The 62% of Americans favor deporting all undocumented immigrants.